Hey, how we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of LUMINOUS 4K screen paint using ambient light rejection, technology game times 2, 3, and 5. We've been showing up a lot of demonstrations on our Superior, our gaming screen paint in the Eclipse, and also to the dark silver. Now keep in mind, we're going to do away with the lightest screen paint we developed, which is that ultra short throw, that high gain professional silver, and we're just going to concentrate on dark technology. Now keep in mind, we're just not going to, because I feel that this is the best way to go. This is the future when it comes to having black screens, when it comes to having darker screens, and these lighter screens are just not going to cut it. And we feel that with the technology we're developing now, and with this black screen producing such a high white level, I think that the ultra short throw high grade professional silver, it will become obsolete. So I did order an ultra short throw projector. It's coming in the mail pretty soon. We will be testing and doing demonstrations with the Superior and the other screen paints we developed to show that these screen paints will work on ultra short throw. Alright, so first things first, we're going to do a side-by-side demonstration. Keep in mind, I'm doing a different projector. Those are the 720p's over there. Today downstairs we have my ViewSonic. This is my ViewSonic projector. Now keep in mind, I've stated to people, you know, it's very important to have contrast in your screen. Contrast is very important. And I've also explained that when you watch demonstrations of people trying to show off their screens, light colored screens of this color and so forth, they will always use very bright colors, because bright colors will fade less, and they will use as less light as possible in the environment, so that way the screen doesn't fade out as much. So if you look at my background, you notice my background is nice and bright. As a matter of fact, it's so dark over here. That's better. That's better. Nice and bright. Nice and bright. So if you look at my background, you notice that the background is always nice and bright. We have no dark corners. The wall's not dark. It's not shadowy. It's not shady. It's nice and bright. This is the way it should be when we test our demonstrations, because we specialize in ambient light rejection technology screen paint. Now, one of the things you'll notice in some of these demonstrations, that when they're using a paint of this color, this caliber, one of the things you'll notice that the background of the screen will be very dark. The environment will have very little lighting, and they'll use a lot of bright colors, because bright colors will fade less, especially when they're doing a demonstration on that caliber of color or shade of screen paint. Also too, you have to watch out for it when they do contrast demonstrations. These demonstrations will always be done in dark environments, because if they do it with the lights on, the screen's going to fade. Our technology has the ability to produce both white levels and black levels at the same time. And keep in mind, this technology here has the ability to do front and rear projection. Also too, they can pull up images outside around somewhere between, we did 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 o'clock, and we did 8, 9, and 10, and 12, and so forth. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to show you the projector we're using. And keep in mind, if you have a projector such like so, or even any projector you have, it's not going to show up if you're using this kind of screen paint, that kind of shade. The contrast is just not going to be there. Now keep in mind, my contrast on my projector is 12,000 to 1, 4,000 lumens. That's my resolution on there. This is my projector right here. There it is right there on the floor. This is my ViewSonic. You know, everybody knows I love ViewSonic projectors. So there's my baby right there. I paid $661 for this projector, but I'm going to show you in this demonstration. It doesn't make a difference how high my contrast is. If I have a screen that can't produce contrast, that's poor ambient light, then you're going to be dealing with this. And it doesn't make a difference how high your contrast is. This is what you're going to be faced with. So let's start the demonstration. Now behind you is the gamer paint. It's using ambient light rejection technology gain times 3. Now this is supposed to be outer space, so this sky is supposed to be black, not gray. Now, one of the beautiful things about this technology, the Superior has the ability to pull up amazing white levels. Contrast is everything because contrast adds detail to the picture. If the picture has no contrast to it, it's too bright, it's going to produce too much of a bright image, and then you're going to lose contrast, you're going to lose detail. Detail is very important. Refined detail is very important. That's what adds personality to your image. And that's why I try to educate people. When I show you demonstrations, I educate you. I try to show you that, look, this is what you need to look for. If you're looking at a screen of that caliber, I guarantee you when they do those demonstrations, poorly lit environment, if you use any kind of ambient light environment, it'll be poorly lit. Number two, they will always use bright videos because bright videos are going to fade less. They will never do a dark contrast demonstration. Screen won't show up. They have to use something that's going to blend well with that screen. And the less light they have in the environment, the better. Let me show you where my projector is sitting at. Now look at this. Now when it comes to, now I notice when some people do a lot of demonstrations on black screens, they will concentrate more on contrast levels. Because keep in mind that contrast levels are going to show up better on a black screen than it is on a lighter screen. But I'm going to show you bright colors also. Now see how the sky is deeper blue? Look at the ocean. Reds are better than here. I meant to say reds are better than here. So I got that kind of switched up. But look at this. So our black screen is producing better reds, better color pop, more detail. Got that kind of mixed up. I said reds are better here than here. Whoopsie. Now like I said, look at the reds. The reds are better here than here. Contrast is everything when it comes to a screen. But more than important than contrast, you need good white levels. White levels are very important because that allows the screen to become brighter and cleaner. This is what I mean by contrast is everything. See how much faded it is here and how it's rich and darker here? This is the way it's supposed to be. That's the color of red. This is faded red. Like I said, OLED, LG would not have spent all that money to design a black screen if they didn't think it was a good idea, a good investment. Now look how much darker the greens are here and look how lighter they are there. And mind you, this technology has the ability to produce very high white levels. So you're not going to miss anything. See how the ocean is supposed to be blue? Color is supposed to pop. Now you see how faded out it is? You can't use these screens in a certain amount of light because they'll start to wash out. So you have to keep it in a very dim environment. That's the only way that screen is going to pull up an image. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you all for your time. I gotta go.